The advice from our AI expert is to print everything, to have paper copies of all of our critical documents in addition to your digital copies. Today we're going to show you how to get that done. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene. And we just interviewed an AI expert who told us that it is critically important that you print your documents because you might not have them. And I thought that was a really interesting thing. And so today we're solving that problem. We have a guest on our show. She's been here before. She's amazing. Her name is Karen Morris, and she has developed a really good tool for organizing all of your critical documents.
It's called the PREPPER'S Printable Binder, and it creates what you need to get all of your information in hard copy to go along with your digital copies. I'm not opposed to digital copies, but there are going to be situations where we need to have hard copies, and there's a bunch of them. And so it's just better to get this thing done, have both of these so that you don't end up in a mess, because this could happen tomorrow. So let's get going.
So Karen, welcome. Why don't you share with us your prepper journey and what inspired you to create this wonderful resource for us?
You know, my journey has been long and circuitous. To make a long story much shorter, it started with couponing, and then I amassed a whole room of food. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I could take care of my family if something happened. And that led me on a learning journey. I learned all about long-term food storage. I learned how to properly package things, like to buy 50 pounds of oats and how do you keep it good for 30 years. And then I started learning about learning. I learned the things that I needed to know about preparedness. It's not just about the stuff. You know, we hear beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. It's not just about those things. It's about the things that I learned that I can pull out at a moment's notice and do because it's something that I have done in the past and I can do in the future. But that led me to the PREPPER'S Printable Binder in many ways because we have moved so much, and it's not something that I had wished for, but it's something that the Lord just moved us on so many times from house to house, even if we were in the same area. And I've discovered that it was hard for me to keep track of all of my things, especially between the moves, if I didn't have them in one place, in one container. And so that was what led me to this. I had heard about the notion of a binder. I had done something similar many years ago, but there were a couple of problems with it. One, it didn't cover everything I needed covered, which was a big deal. And two, can I be honest? It wasn't pretty. And I don't know about you guys, but that's like important to me. I want my stuff to be pretty. And so when I got to thinking about all of this, I was like, you know what? There are people out there who don't know that they're missing things that they need to have. And then I can also help them with that, but I can make it pretty so they want to use it, so they enjoy using it. And that was kind of what led me to the binder.
That is so fun.
And if you want to call it handsome, I'm on board. Let's roll with it.
You know,
there are handsome pictures in there too.
Yeah, there are. Backpack,
okay, should we settle on cute?
Yes, we can settle on cute.
Okay.
All
right.
So one of the things that I noticed, because we had, and in just a minute, we're going to talk about why you really need this, because it's great to organize it at home, but there are also a lot of scenarios where you really need something ready to go. But several years ago, I had done this one that's here in the red, and I had gone through and organized, and in the front, we've added a bunch of stuff like there's keys to everything that's important. There's some of the digital stuff that we needed that's right there. So if I have to start my life over again, I have what I need. And so I was really proud of myself. In fact, if our viewers want to go see either the video or the post that we did, I'll leave a link for that. But then when you sent me yours, I thought this was really fun because I'm going through it and I'm like, oh, I should have had that in there. And, oh, I should have had this in here. And
besides, it's cuter than ours.
Besides, it's cuter. It is cuter. I love the page prompts that you have in here so that I can go through. And a lot of this, my personal plan is to, I put it in the sheet protectors in here. And I've got your prompts. And there's so many good things that I don't have in this one that I will now. And so, okay, you know how every prepper needs a backup for their backup? I'm doing a backup so that it's not just one. Okay,
And let's face it, if any of you have seen Karen before, she is like the queen of organization.
Yeah,
This
she is.
This
She
is
is.
just another in a series of really cool ideas, and she pulled this one off, and it's great.
In fact, we'll leave you a couple links to some of her books and stuff in the description. We've done other videos, and she's just awesome. But let's talk about some of the disaster scenarios or some of the reasons why you need this all in one place right away.
So let me give you a great scenario that just happened to us in the last 2 weeks. So my son was like, Mom, we need to go down. So we lived in Pensacola for about 9 months, and then the Lord moved us up to a small town in Alabama, about 45 minutes from Pensacola. So he's like, Mom, we have to go down there and get my bank account set up because he has one in Illinois, but he's starting college and he's got different things with a scholarship and everything else. And he just needs to get it all settled so that I can transfer money to and from he and I, to and from other siblings, because I'm on everybody's account, so I can help with all of that. And he's like, Mom, we need to go down there. And I said, you know what? That's great. Let's grab the binder in case we need anything, in case we need social security cards, or in case we need birth certificates, or in case we have it all. And so we grabbed our binder and we took it with us. So it just a simple scenario, but we knew no matter what it was, we were going to have it.
Because it's in that binder.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if you have to evacuate, if you've got that 15-minute warning, right?
Yep.
That's one of the things. Now, I don't keep this with my emergency kit. And we should talk about where to store it. But personally, on an online classified, I bought a file cabinet that was a bank vault. So it's fireproof. It's like, what, 500 pounds or something when you moved it?
Yeah, it hurt.
But it was inexpensive, but it's in my office, and that's where this is kept. It is lockable, and then nobody can have access to it, but it's right there, and so it's super easy. And when we go on vacation, we're like, okay, kids, if we die, this is where all our important stuff is. And I think that's really important. But what do you recommend about storing the binder once it's got? Because somebody could ruin your life with it.
Somebody absolutely could ruin your life with it. There are many ways that you can deal with it. In our house that we have now, it's really cool. We actually have kind of like a hidden room, so that we could keep it in there. Honestly, the truth of the matter is nobody is going to look at a binder and go, oh, that looks like something really important. I'm going to grab it and take everything from it. So for us, we keep everything locked up anyway, so that doesn't bother me. I keep it in my office. And I'm not worried about that. You can keep it in those fireproof safes, which they can still take the safe if it's a small one, but they can't get into it. So, I mean, there's different things like that, but it doesn't bother me or worry me to have this in my office, because people aren't going to look at that purple binder with all of my other binders and go, oh, that's the important one.
That's the one.
I'm excited to see the guy that tries to take ours. He'll get a triple hernia. That would be worth the entertainment value right there. Just wow, that hurt.
Things like the fire, right? It is. I mean, our risk of having a fire, we try and reduce it, but we could lose everything in a fire, right? Or some of the flooding that has occurred and things like that. So I think it is a good idea to look at your personal situation and say, this is probably best for me, because you might be able to just totally get away with keeping it in your office and be just fine.
Another thing you could consider is if you have a lockable filing cabinet, then you can lock it in one of the drawers, and in a filing cabinet, it's less likely to be damaged by fire anyway. So if you've got the metal ones, so that is another option as well, keeping it in that lockable filing cabinet.
Of all the things that are in here, I mean, there were so many good ideas
and cute
ideas. You actually had some prompts for bug out bags and items to put in your bug out bags and things like that, which I thought was really cool. Talk a little bit about that.
So when I was putting this together, while it is geared toward preparedness and for people who are already preppers, this is a vital thing that everybody needs. And my idea was kind of like, okay, let this be the gateway into preparedness for people. Let people, because there are people out there who realize that they need to organize all of their things, whether they're getting older or their parents are getting older, or they want to make sure that everything is in order for anything that could happen. And having that in there is a great way to help people realize, oh, you know what? Really, I have a lot of these things in my purse already. Maybe I should put together a little kit with the rest of these things. And that way they're a little bit more prepared than they, today than they were yesterday. I want preparedness to be attainable. And I think so many people look at people who they call preppers and they go, I can never do that.
Ah,
And I want them to feel like I can do this. This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is something that I can take and I can run with. And every little thing that we do like that, we're more prepared than we were before.
It's kind of like sneak preparedness. Like sneak nutrition. Like we used to sneak, all kinds of kale and stuff into muffins and stuff. Little sneak it in there,
Guilty.
get that nutrition. Well, this is kind of sneak preparedness, and
Sneak prepping.
and what a way to do it. I mean, you've got this all here anyway, and you just kind of slide in. Well, think about this and this and this, and be even more ready for whatever. So, thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about like our daughter who just got married. Like, what a great wedding gift, because everybody needs something like this to stay organized. So, really, everybody needs it. And if you start that way from the beginning and it's cute,
Oh yeah,
how much
just
better
doesn't
off
get better than
is
that.
it, right? So of all the wedding presents, I think that that's a really cool thing to be able to start and to do that. We would encourage you guys to go to areyoupreparedmama.com
Mhm.
and check out some of the other stuff that Karen has done. We did a video a few months ago. It was on these little EDCs, right? These everyday carry bags that aren't really for end of the world scenarios, although they could be.
Sure.
And now, I've got these little everyday carry bags in these clear little things. And every time I go someplace, they're in there. And there is a chocolate bar, which actually the last time I took it, the chocolate melted, and that probably wasn't the best choice. But that was a really great video. And that was another really good idea, because we're not just prepping for the end of the world, we're prepping for everyday challenges and making life easier because we're organized. And that's why we're talking to the queen
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
organization.
And part of this is just the peace of mind that makes life better. I mean, even if you don't have anything really wild going on, just having that peace of mind that all these things are in place and in process, and it's awesome.
And if anything if I would get a phone call saying that something happened to my mom, I grab this on the way out the door because I have her power of attorney in my binder because I am her medical power of attorney. So things like that, it doesn't have to be, literally my house may be burning down, but it can be something as simple as my mom's in the hospital. I need to take this in case I need it. Or it could be something as simple as, you know what, we're going on vacation and I'm going to give this to a friend who I know and trust, because I want somebody to have my stuff, my information, if anyone would ever need it. So
Yeah.
it's just everyday things. Or let's say that you move to a new state for the third time in a year and you need to go change over all of your car information. You need your titles, you need all, your tags and all of that. You have everything right here in one place. You know where you're going to go. It makes it so much easier. Living in Alabama, in order for me to get my driver's license, I had to have my marriage certificate, which I didn't have to have in Florida or in Illinois, but I had to have my marriage certificate. But I didn't have to worry about where is it, because it's in my binder. It's already there. It makes it so simple. I was like, okay, one part of my binder, marriage certificate, another part of my binder, social security card, another part of my binder, I had to have my birth certificate, all of those things, but they were all right there. And so it made life so much easier. And preparedness isn't just about taking care of emergencies. It's also about making the things that we do easier as we do it.
And I've heard a statistic that people spend, on average, 80 hours a year looking for things that they don't know where they are and wish they had fast. This kind of takes care of that. That's what you're getting at here, is when all this stuff is in a place where you know where it is, life is simpler and much happier.
And it takes away the mental load, because you're not worried about, okay, do I have everything? Because I have gone through this. I've given it to some people. I've gotten some great feedback. I didn't have pet stuff in there. And they were like, oh, Karen, you need pet stuff. So I have a whole section on pets now. I even went to Chat GPT and I'm like, okay, what am I missing? And it gave me a couple other ideas. I was like, oh, brilliant. So, I mean, I've done the legwork to get everything in there that you really need. Are there other things? You need to take this and customize it for you.
Sure.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, so maybe you want to keep your menus in the front of it for whatever reason, or you want to, you have a couple of like password lists that you want to stick in here. Make it yours. But this helps you with everything that you absolutely need in case you did have to start over tomorrow.
And Karen, tell us a little bit your philosophy, and this can be variable, but how often should people look at this and kind of go through it and check it? And
Update.
I'm thinking like twice a year. If you go through and just flip through, okay, is everything here? Is there something that we've forgotten or something new that happened that we
Updated.
need to get in here? Is that a reasonable?
I think it's reason. I think it might be a good thing, like when you swap out your bug out bag clothes, like if you do it when we spring forward and fall back, if you do it then, just take that time and say, okay, besides switching out bug out bag clothes, I'm also going to just flip through my binder. Another time that I think is important to flip through the binder is, okay, I've gotten a new appliance and there's a section in here for appliance warranties. I'm going to just right now, I'm going to go and I'm going to slip that in there. And that way I know where it is when I need it. Anytime you want to add something, you're like, oh, you know what? Like my husband bought me a beautiful necklace for Christmas last year and I have a warranty on it. So I wanted to make sure that I kept the warranty and it's in my binder. So if you get a warranty, put it in here. If you get a new title, just put it in here. Take the time and put it in here. And as you do, you might flip through part of it and say, do I need to add anything now? But definitely at least once a year, twice a year would probably be a better ratio. One of the things I think we need to keep in mind is that having our tangible documents is very important, but having them also on like a drive is also very important. One of the things you can do is you can take that drive and you can even put it in the front of your binder so that if you needed another copy, if one of the documents got damaged, if your binder got wet, anything like that, you still have that memory stick that you have everything on as well. So I think having both is very important.
I think that's important. And I know that in ours, I actually have a lot of my pictures on an external drive because to me, that's super important. And I know that I have them on my computer and I have them on the cloud. But yeah, I just had such cute babies, right? I don't want to lose all those pictures. So that's a really good point. This is so cool. So for all of our viewers out there, Karen has very graciously agreed to give us a 20% discount if you go purchase this product in the next 30 days. You have to use the promo code Provident, but after 30 days, it's gone. So we would highly recommend, and besides that, it's kind of a really urgent thing. When we talked to that AI expert, and you might want to go watch that recent video, but I mean, it's just now is the time to do it before it's too late. And while this is beautiful and amazing, if you can't afford to do this and use these prompts, go to our website. We'll leave a link to our thing that has the different documents. Just start doing the best you can and putting all of your important documents in, making sure that you've printed out all of your contact numbers so that you can reach all of the important people if you lose your phone or if, we can't access those numbers anymore. All of that is really important. And we would so strongly encourage you to do that now. So thank you for creating this, Karen. What final words do you have for our audience?
I want everybody to know that preparedness is within your grasp and you can be more prepared tomorrow than you are today.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Step by step, we get there. That's awesome. Thanks for that. That's just sage advice from someone who's been down that road. So Thank you.
And as you start now, everything that you do, you build confidence. You will really be surprised how much peace you have when you start to prepare. And every little thing you do, it's kind of like what Karen said earlier. It just takes some of that emotional load off of you. It's good the way that works.
All right. Now for the question of the day for our audience. What's one document you are printing and adding to your emergency binder? Share with us. Drop it in the comments. Let's have some discussion. And thanks for being part of the solution.